Good morning. These are my top tips for approaching your driving test. So in absolutely first place, first position, know where your driving license is. Find it around about a week. Well, find it as early as possible, but certainly do not leave it until the day before or the morning or the day of the test, for God's sake. Find your driving license. If you are going out on the town or anything, just be careful you don't lose it, all right? Because if you don't have your driving license, you're not going to your driving test. Know where your card license is and bring it with you. Tip number 2, if you have had your last driving lesson with your driving instructor, consider not driving your own car. If your test is quite close, maybe don't drive your car. Maybe leave it that you've had your driving lesson in your driving instructor's car if you're going to test in that car, because changing between your car and the instructor's car, the clutch might be a bit dodgy, might be stalling a lot. If this is a problem for you, you'll know if it's you, then consider leaving it, having your last driving lesson with your instructor, and then going to your test in your instructor's car again, right? Because you just want a nice, clean, as few stalls as you can on your driving test to present nicely. If it doesn't matter to you, if you don't stall your car and you can swap between 2 cars, omit this tip. Tip 3, go and get coffee. Jokes. That's just what I do before work. Tip number 3, the real one. Careful with who you listen to. Your friends and family might love you, but they tell you some absolute shockers before your driving test. Please be careful. Send your driving instructor messages, talk to your driving instructor. Try not to get like quick advice from people who give you really poor advice. Like, for example, poor advice: drive really slowly on your driving test because it's your driving test. No, if you need to drive slowly because there's a reason, drive slowly because there's a reason, not because you're trying to look like careful because you're driving test. Stop at all roundabouts, use first gear. No, if you need first gear at a roundabout, that's fair enough. When you go to your driving test, you are making a statement. I don't need a driving instructor anymore. I do not need an accompanying driver with me. I am absolutely the Don. I can drive. I don't need any help. That's the statement. You need to be released into society as if you're just been there forever. Like you're not driving like a learner anymore. Whatever you do, don't drive like a learner. That's not the point. If you're driving like a learner, you still should be learning to drive. When you go to your driving test, you are a driver. You've had all these lessons not to be a learner. You know what I mean? It's really important. It's a bit like having a bird that's broken its wing. You can't release it back into the world until it is proper strong and it can go out there and catch its own worm. Yeah, it can't be damaged when it goes out there. So careful who you listen to, all right? Contact your driving instructor, send text messages, ask them questions, all right? And even if you've got a lovely driving instructor, but they're not yours, right, Leash? They as well may not have the right information for you. Talk to your driving instructor, the person that taught you, because they've got all the systems and everything that they've taught you from scratch, all right? So hope that helps. Tip 4 is get enough sleep. Yeah, just rest. Make sure the first thing that I ask my student on the day of the test is, how did you sleep? Because sleep is so important, isn't it? Just make sure that you have a nice bath or whatever you're going to do, just chill out. Try not to have a really late night. Try not to stay up and watch Netflix until God knows what time. Get some rest, okay? So rest your mind. Make sure that you are setting your alarm in the morning and that you can be fresh as a daisy. If you drink coffee in the morning, have your coffee, have something to eat, and just make sure you've got enough sleep, all right? It's just so easy to do, and a rested mind is more focused, all right? So just get some sleep. Tip 5, make sure that you know all the Show Me Tell Me questions, So make sure that you have either gone to the government website and looked up all the Show Me Tell Me questions. Hopefully your driving instructor would have gone through all the Show Me Tell Me questions with you. So all of the ones inside the car that you may get, all the ones that you're going to be doing when you're actually driving, all the ones underneath the bonnet, yeah? So I've made videos about this for my Audi A1, So all my students are like, I do it with them before their test, obviously, but then I direct them to go and watch the videos for my specific car, my videos. Go and watch the ones underneath the bonnet. Know how to undo the bonnet. Know how to close the bonnet as well. Watch all the videos inside, and and make sure that you know all of those questions, because you're going to get them. You're going to get 2 of them, right? You're going to get one at the beginning of the test, and you're going to get one whilst you're actually driving. So make sure you know your show me, tell me questions. Tip 7, you'll need to get to the test centre around about 10 minutes before, no earlier, no later really. Reason being is because other tests are going to be coming back from their tests, so you're not actually allowed to arrive too early. In fact, if you pull up in the bay or on the side of the road, depending on your test centre and where you are, the other examiners may actually knock on your window and tell you to drive on. So arrive about 10 minutes before, just to be parked in the correct position, which is easiest for you to drive on. And don't arrive too early or too late, of course. I think you've got around about 7 minutes. If you're late, you've got about 7 minutes. So from the start of your test, if you've got, if you've got an 11 o'clock, you've got 7 minutes. So if you're not there by 11:07, it's going to be it's going to be called off. If you arrive at 11:08, there's just not enough time because they've got to get to another test. So arrive at the test centre 10 minutes early, and that is all. Tip 8. The signature that is on your driving licence that you are taking to your test, you're going to need to write your signature exactly the same as your signature is on the licence that you're taking. Some people, their photograph has been taken in year Stone Age, right? So you just don't look like your picture anymore. So the examiners are very clued up on how to look at certain things to make sure it's you because of impersonation and stuff like that. But you need to be signing your name with the same signature on the back. Once you've given your license to the examiner, they're going to hold it. They're not going to show you the signature that's back on the back of the car anymore because you've given it to them. So if you've changed your signature because you've the last time you wrote it was when you were 16 or something, and you've done that. If you've changed your signature, you need to do it the same as what's on your license. All right. So you need to sign the declaration, which is what you have to sign before you go out with the examiner. So he's going to come into the room and call your name. You're going to get up with respect. You don't necessarily have to shake his hand. I've been a driving instructor for 21 years. The amount of people that actually shake hands with them is minimal. So you don't have to shake their hands. Obviously you can, but I hardly ever see it. Not because of disrespect, it's just, it doesn't really happen. Then you'll walk over to the examiner and you'll need to show him your card. You need to give it to him without being in an envelope or anything like that. He needs you to take it out and give it to him. So there's no worries about bribing and stuff like that. And then as he looks at it, he will then say, please, can you read the declaration? So there's a very small bit of writing that basically just ensures that you've been in the country for a certain amount of time and that your health has not changed since that you applied for the licenses, and that your car is insured, I think. Haven't read it for ages, but certainly those first 2 things, how many days you've been in the country and your health is stable. And then you sign it. He will then look at the signature and make sure that the signature is the same as on the back of the card. And then after that, he will thank you for it. He will then ask you if your driving instructor is coming with you. Are you bringing your accompanying driver? And then you can say yes or no, depending on what you've decided. And then you either go out solo with him to your car or your driving instructor's car, or you take your driving instructor or accompanying driver with you. So the person needs to be over 16 years old, and you can take them with you if you so wish. Even if you have somebody with you, the examiner at the end of the test will say, would you like your accompanying driver to hear the resulting feedback of your exam? And you can say yes or no. If you don't take somebody with you, the examiner will say, do you want your accompanying driver to hear the feedback and results of your test? You can say yes. So even if you don't take your driving instructor with you, you can still the driving instructor is still going to know what happened, because the door will open at the end of the test at the side of the road, and the driving instructor will be there ready to listen to the feedback. So that's completely up to you. If you want your driving instructor there, then they'll sit behind you and they'll view the test. If you don't want them there, then obviously just let them stay at the test centre and wait for you, and you can just hire their car. Tip number 9, keep focused until the test is completely finished. You've parked in the bay safely and you've turned the engine off. You know, over the years of being a driving instructor, I've had people know that they're driving back to the test centre and they just let their guard down, and then potentially they fail on the last roundabout. Or maybe even worse, they don't signal to pull up in the bay on the left where I teach in Cheltenham. They don't mirror and signal to pull up on the left, and they fail at the very, very last minute. Keep focused until you have literally finished your exam and you've turned your car off. Then you can relax, yeah? If you want to call it that, but just keep focused until the end. Also, I'd like to add at this point, when the examiner says, drive on when you're ready, right? When it is safe to do so, pull away. Try not to think, I'm hesitating, I can't go. If you can't go, you can't go. If there's people driving, like if you're sat on the side of the road at your test centre, if that's the way it is and you're not coming out of a bay, if you can't go because it's busy, don't worry about it. Like, if you can't go, you can't go. It's like crossing the road. If you can't cross the road, you're not going to step out because it's been a while and you're just going to step your foot out and you're just going to have to wait longer. So it is very important that you don't think, I'm hesitating. No, you're not. Just wait until the safe gap, have a really good look around you and make sure that you pull off at the right time. It may take a while. You know, it might be really, really busy. You might be involved in the school run traffic, or the people getting to work or whatever traffic. It may take a while. In fact, be secretly happy that it's taking a while to pull away. If you really, really can't, be secretly happy, because all of that time is being burnt and it's just, you're not actually doing your driving test, are you? You're just at the side of the road. So bonus if you can't go. Yeah. All right. Hope that helps. Tip 10. You're going to have an independent drive for 20 minutes on your driving test. 4 out of 5 tests are going to be a sat-nav. You're going to be following a sat-nav for 20 minutes. And then if you get selected for following signs, you're going to be following signs for up to 20 minutes as well. If you get the follow signs, you're going to be swapping signs. So you'll be following the sign for Gloucester, and then you'll follow the sign for Stroud, and then you'll follow the sign for the town centre, and blah, blah, right? So you're going to swap signs a fair amount. If you go the wrong way, it's okay. Please understand, guys, that you can go the wrong way on your driving test. It's okay. You are literally just being marked on whether you mirror and signal correctly. If you get your left and your rights mixed up and you go mirrors, if you've been asked to turn right by the examiner and you go mirrors left, signal left, turn left, it's fine. It's like totally fine. Yeah. If you're in the wrong lane at a roundabout, go the wrong way. I strongly suggest that if you know you're in the wrong lane at a roundabout or at a crossroads or anything like that, the very first thing that you need to do when you realise is just say, oh, I'm in the wrong lane. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go the wrong way for safety reasons. The reason why I say to say it aloud is because the examiner already knows that you're in the wrong position. He's done that test route billions of times. He knows you're in the wrong lane way before you do. So as soon as you know you're in the wrong lane, just say, I'm sorry. I realise I'm in the wrong lane. For safety reasons, I'm going to have to go the way that the lane has been designed. This is a good idea because, one, it cuts through the tension in the car. As a driving instructor, if I'm doing a mock test with somebody and they're in the wrong lane, my alerts as a driving instructor are very high. I cannot communicate with my student because we're on a mock test. I'm pretending to be an examiner, right? So I'm thinking, do I need to brake? Do I need to grab the wheel? What's going to happen? Who's around? Is there any cars overtaking us? Is there anyone too close to us? What's my student going to do? Are they going to swerve? Something dangerous is going to happen? If my student turns around to me and goes, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong lane. I better go the wrong way because I'm in the wrong lane. I can slightly chill a little bit. Oh, thank God, my student's got control of this. It's okay. In your life, you're going to go the wrong way billions of times, millions of times. You're going to go to places that you've never driven before, like London, Bristol, Birmingham, places like maybe even other countries you're going to go the wrong way. You're going to be in the wrong lane sometimes. It's vitally important that you know how to deal with this in the safest possible way. All right? So if you're in the wrong lane, go the wrong way. So I'm at the test centre. And tip number 11. You can make 15 mini mistakes, minors, on your test. I don't think I've actually really met a student who has passed their test and not thought that they failed for something, you know. So you don't have to have a flawless perfection drive. There's always going to be like little bits and pieces going on, all right? So, okay, I understand that you can't have a serious and a dangerous, of course, but you're never going to have like this seamless drive. So just hold on to hope until the end, you know, keep going. If something happens, try not to go in your own head and just play it over and over. Just put it down in your head to a minor and just carry on, all right? The drive is allowed to have 15 mini mistakes, little minors, all right? It's the odd little thing that comes up because of nerves and all the rest of it, you know, just put it down to, that's a minor, carry on, keep focused, keep going until you've parked and then you turn the engine off. So yeah, it doesn't have to be a flawless drive, all right? Tip number, where are we? 11? No, 12. Tip number 12. Your manoeuvres do not have to be absolutely perfection first time. You can fix them, all right? You've got 3 fixes. As long as your observations are immaculate, then you can fix your manoeuvres, all right? So we all have to fix our manoeuvres, right? Parallel park, bay park, pull up on the right. The only one that you can't fix is the controlled stop, right? But the other ones, you've got 3 fixes and you're fine. The examiner's marking you out of control, so how you use your clutch, how the actual manoeuvre is going. Observation, really important. Make sure it's totally safe. Check the blind spot, look out the back window at the times that you've been taught by your instructor. And then the accuracy is the last thing he's looking for. It does not have to be perfect first time. You've got, if it's safe and you're looking around and it's all good, just go to a saving point, yeah? Go back to a previous part of the manoeuvre and continue, all right? Or just pull forward if it's safe to do so to get into a decent position at the end. Your manoeuvres do not have to be perfect first time, okay? Just, you know, let go of the perfection feeling. It can be, you don't have to get it right first time. It's a bonus if you do. Like, I hope it goes well for you first time. That's lovely, that feels great. But if it goes wrong, you just need to put it down to, yeah, that's okay. I've got 3 fixes. I'm going to check everywhere. I'm going to make sure it's really safe. And I'm going to redo this part of my manoeuvre. All right? All right, everybody. Those are my 12 tips for your driving test. There's probably way more than I can give you, but I've just noticed that this video is about 18 to 20 minutes long, which is quite long. So I'm going to leave it there. But I really hope these tips help you. And from the bottom of my heart, good luck. If your driving instructor has put you forward for your driving test, then take it as a massive compliment, because your driving instructor is under a trigger system. So if you fail, it goes on their record, and then, you know, too many fails for them, then they have to do their own exams. So if your driving instructor has put you forward for your driving exam, take it as a compliment. You're supposed to be there, all right? And just go in it and just go for it. I wish you so much luck, and I really hope that the tips that I've shared with you help. And yeah, go get that license. Take care.